Hey everybody, it's PJ and it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Not that it matters. I work from home Saturday and Sunday. I'm a little nervous about driving today because I'm out of that windshield wiper stuff. And like right now I can't see and I'm going on 95. Oh, danger, danger, Will Robinson. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you this morning about the big get even. And the reason why is because situations have come up in my life, I'm sure in yours, where, you know, there's somebody kind of not thinking good thoughts about you. I work in the corporate world, so there's always somebody who's trying to, you know, move up the ranks, and they feel like the way they have to do it is by getting you. So let's talk about how to handle those people, because really you don't want any of that in your karma. So I used to say when somebody was doing something wrong to me, or I felt wronged in some way, I used to say an incantation, a quick one. I'm sure anybody who's done any kind of witchcraft has heard this, but it's all evil done to me goes back to you 3 times 3. And I would repeat this to kind of deflect the negativity back onto that person. And after a while, I realized I was kind of right in the middle of the hate. And the only way to get out of the hate is really get out of the hate. Like you can't be in the middle of it and claim to be the victim if you stay in the middle of it. Like you literally can't do it. It doesn't work. So in my mind, the things you have to do to stay out of the hate is literally allow it. And it's so hard. It took me a lifetime to learn how to do this. But you allow it. If somebody hates on you, you literally have to tell yourself you don't care. Who cares? Like 9 times out of 10, what I find is hate equals fear. When people are afraid, usually the worst thing to do is to go after them. Like, going after them just instills that fear that they had in the first place. So, I have girlfriends who are beautiful. I mean, they're way better looking than me, younger than me, thinner than me, because that's not a word you'd use to describe me. But I'm comfortable in my own skin, and they aren't. They're so afraid that they're always putting it out there like that somebody else doesn't like them, or somebody else. And what that is they are worried about not liking themselves. So it usually, any kind of hate you get to you is 9 times out of 10 is a reflection of how they're feeling about themselves. Like you could stick the mirror right up there, you know? The truth is, if you start recognizing what you're dealing with, you're not really dealing with hate. And very few people I found, there's some, but very few people I found hate. What they do is they fear their own insecurities and their own little trials in their head about themselves is what you're fighting. It's impossible. You'll never win that fight, never. So what do you do as the little kid that's afraid? What do you do? Do you yell at them? Do you scream at them? Do you have the fight? No. What you do is you coddle them. You try to make them realize that what they're afraid of is ridiculous. Because 9 times out of 10, it is. So that was the first step I took away from the big get even. The second step was I changed that incantation, where before I would say, all evil done to me goes back to you 3 times 3. I changed it to all evil done to me comes back as my prosperity. Because I figured that I would rather gain something good than jump into the hate. The hate's always going to be there. People are going to hate. If you're different, people hate. I mean, it's the way it is. But it comes from fear. Fear about something in themselves, fear about not understanding. It always comes from fear. Like almost always. You know, like I said, there's very few just straight hateful people. Usually they lived a life of something that created it. okay? And then, of course, there's people that are just sick of the mind, and there's not, you know, again, you're not going to win. So the way you win with somebody who's trying to do evil to you is always to look at where it comes from, and B, don't play on their friggin' playground. Like, my best advice to anybody is grab your jacks and go home. And I don't mean walk out of your life, walk away from your work or whatnot, but you don't have to play in their playground. You don't have to. You never have to. I never do anymore. It is very rare that you will be able to pull me into a playground. I have my own, and I deal with my own. And it took years of me saying to myself, and you have to be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself and you want to play the victim, and there's a part of you that's a martyr, and you know you're fudging even to yourself, because you lie to yourself all the time, you know, and you lie about other people to yourself all the time. Oh, she'd never do that to me. He would never do that to me. And there's a part of you that knows the truth, that of course they, whatever. But when you lie to yourself, what I'm speaking of doesn't work. But if you're honest and say to yourself, what part of this was me? What part of this did I allow? Whatever the situation is, what part of it should I own? And if you own that, like, it's hard because people react. I'll speak of my mom because I know she'll never watch this. And she's a little Jewish lady, 80-something years old, you know, that kind of thing. But, and God bless her now, I have no problem with her. But she was really rough on us as kids. She was a model and beautiful and hated fat. And here I come with my big boobs and wide shoulders. And, you know, I am just the epitome of what she doesn't like in women. She like literally asked me if I wanted a breast reduction, and yeah, if I wanted to fix that. She taught us how to be bulimic. I mean, you have no idea. To this day, if we're out eating lunch, she'll tap me on the shoulder and say, go get rid of that. She's crazy. Yeah. Do that to a 9-year-old. Pretty much messes up their food stuff. But it got to the point where I had to say, what do I do? What am I doing? Am I doing something? Because she laid guilt. You know, you used to. These are all guilt-laden starts to sentences. So I finally got to the point where I had to ask myself, and this is just an example, did I do anything that created this? Did I somehow walk on a path that finished her sentence of whatever? And, you know, sometimes I did. And so I had to own that and stop it and realize that it wasn't me. When I was 9, that wasn't, or 10 or 5 or whatever, it wasn't me. It was my mom's fear. It was a fear that if she wasn't beautiful, they wouldn't like her, whatever it was. But it wasn't me. And it's so liberating to walk away from that. And I did. I didn't walk away from my mother. She's crazy. I can't leave a little crazy 80-year-old woman in Philly. Like, I can't walk away from her. She's my mother. I love her. But she's crazy. And in a way, we're all crazy, if you ask me. But I had to get to the point where, like, it was okay. You know, I forgave her all that. I watched where it came from. I had to ask myself, did I do anything to help this situation? Of course I did. And once I stopped that, she stopped that. And it was amazing because our relationship now is really good. She's still crazy, but in a whole different way. And we're happy. We can have a conversation on the phone, and it's not some terrible thing. And sometimes she can get to me. She tries, don't get me wrong, but you can't get to me anymore. Really, really hard to get to me. You have to go somewhere really bad to get to me. You have to, like, kind of go after my kids or something. So, I mean, honestly, it isn't that I don't think the issues in my life are important enough to fight for. It's that they're not really my issues. And if they're not, why am I going to put myself out there? Why would you put yourself into those issues? You know, you take responsibility for what is you and what you did and what you said, and then the rest, let it take care of itself. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to fix your boyfriend. He's exactly who he wants to be. And if that's not good for you, then you need a new boyfriend. It isn't up to us to change everybody in the world. It really isn't. You can change people from being ignorant, from situations, but you can't change who they are. So, when you stop trying is when you get freedom. When you let go of it, that's when it all comes to you. So, change it up. All evil done to me comes back as my prosperity. They can't hurt me. They can't hurt me. I'll never let them. You don't have to let them. You need to feel good in your own skin. Examine what you get angry about and whatnot, and see if it's fear-based. Fear is a terrible thing. It's a wonderful thing. Fear kept us safe. It keeps us safe. But it's not meant to put us in, like, to make us insecure about things. And that's what happens. Fear kind of turned the wrong way is insecurity. So, maybe if you recognize that, you won't fall into it. You won't fall into the traps of others. That's really what it is. There's no need to get even. Getting even, best get even, go be happy. Go be happy, relax, enjoy, be helpful. Know that whatever you want can come to you. All you have to do is want it. All you have to do is believe you got it. That's what I say every day. I know that I have everything I need. Everything. I am not wanting for anything. It's the right way to be. Takes years off your, off your life worrying about stuff you can't fix and will never change. So, stop trying. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy the differences in people. That's what makes it fun. If they were all like you, what the hell? We'd be robots. So go enjoy yourself. Go have fun. Go be happy. And one day I'll tell you a story about my crazy mother. You would never believe me, I swear. Like somebody said, write a book. I'm like, nobody would believe me. No one would believe what like my mother is so batshit. But she's my mother and I love her and she's adorable. She's this little old lady who whispers in empty rooms. It's so funny. I go to her house and there's like nobody there. Nobody there. And she takes $20 out of her purse and like rolls it up real tight. And she'll like hand it to me off the side and this is what she does. She goes, put this away. And I'm like looking around the room like, is someone here? And she's like, I'm looking around like, who's listening, Ma? We're alone. Put this away. It's so funny. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks, Mom. 20 bucks. Not that I want her to give me more. She doesn't have to give me anything, but she's so crazy. Like, who's listening? We're alone. We're alone in the house. That's my mommy. What am I going to do? So, I love you guys. I hope this helped. Stop feeling like you have to get back at people. You really don't. Fighting's ridiculous. You walk away from hate, and the best get even is having a great life and being happy and not allowing people's hate to ever infiltrate you. Doesn't matter. So what? Just go be happy. Enjoy. There's so much love out there. Oh my gosh, I love all the people, all my little babies that I hire and work for me. I love them. Like, my heart is so filled with love. My children, my crazy mother, my sister. Like, I love my friends. I love them. There's so much love. There is no reason for me to waste 1 second on hate. None. And if everybody did that, there'd be no wars or any of that. So it's actually really good advice. So I love you guys. If you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. The magic's in you. Go get what you want. All you have to do is believe it and it's yours. All right. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Be safe.